Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. What are we laughing about already? What happened?
I didn't know it was recording, then I made that sound. Okay, that was a good intro. I like
Why do
that.
we have I just don't get why we have a 10-second countdown. We're not starting anything.
Yeah, but you have to understand, it's kind of hard for me to play the music and then do the countdown. So I have to find a way to like smooth us into it.
Why do we need a music and a countdown? We just say hi, welcome. It was BTB.
Bro, we gotta prepare ourselves. Come on. It can't be a right away thing. I feel like we have to like smooth transition in.
Transition to what? It's the start of the video. What are we?
It's the start of the podcast. Fine. You know what? From now on, okay, fine. From now on, we won't do it. How about that?
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Backboard with our best host on the internet. Say hello to Max. Say hello to Omar. And I was going to get a start on the show and introduce our first topics, man. I'm excited to talk basketball today, though. It's been a little bit of time for me.
Me too.
Earl's been on injured reserve.
Yeah. Earl had a little injury.
I'm on that Julius Randle pack.
Damn, that's crazy.
All love, though. He's my favorite player in the NBA, so it's all good.
No. He's pretty good. Julius is all right. Damn, I'm actually concerned though, because I know I was like making little jokes here and there before. But what actually happened to AD? What was the clear-cut injury that happened?
Oh, that's the thing. It wasn't really an injury. It's like one of those just mandatory rests. Like he just came off of a 40-plus point win in Golden State, and then he played a little bit through a sore groin issue in that last blowout L, I would say. And then it just wasn't smart to play him on a back-to-back after that. So we just gave him one mandatory rest. We got you guys coming up, of course, and we got the Celtics. So more pressing games to take care of on the schedule for sure.
I feel like AD has to have the lowest like pain. He has to have some sort of thing with pain tolerance because like he gets hurt every single game, but he always comes back. So like I'm not even trying to hate. I just think he feels pain differently than other people. Like it's literally every time I look up, he's like grabbing at his arm, and you think it's like a season-ending, and you'd be like, "Oh, he's back in 2 minutes." So it's not hate. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying he's just got to feel pain differently. Like his pain sensors are heightened or something, and he's just like, "Damn, this really hurts." And the doctor's like, "You bruised something. Like you'll be fine." And he's like, "Okay, bet, I'll go back out there." So it's just interesting, you know, because he's always hurt, but he's always playing. So.
Y'all think he's trying to like compensate for something?
No. Look, I'm not gonna. I'll say this: Anthony Davis this season, he's definitely played through injuries. I think part of it too is media a lot. And I'm sure we'll talk about maybe a little bit Joel Embiid situation too. Mm-hmm. Like the media pressures these guys to play through injury. Like it happens. Announcers, medical guys, they want these players to play. Obviously, it's good basketball for the top players to keep going out there and perform. But the thing I like about Anthony Davis, like you said, he does get injured a lot. He gets bumped a lot of post-up possessions on both ends, especially when you're aggressive defender like he is as well. It happens. Like I'll watch the game too. AD gets bumped, he gets hit in the face, and he just expected to take it. Like he takes some big hits. So for me, it seems like he does grimace a lot. He just shows that he's in pain, which is just normal. Like people get hurt. They get injured. Like, I'm sure when we stub our toes, we react to it all the time. Or when we hit our elbows, react to it. The only difference is these guys are on camera for pretty much 80% of their life just playing basketball. So I think that's the biggest difference. I will say this year, AD leads the NBA minutes played. So that's a good thing. And he's been healthy for the most part. So I'm glad he got his day off. But I don't think it's anything other than just kind of a mandatory rest, like things you expect from your stars to get. It just sucks that I think the reason people are talking about it a lot more is because we're kind of losing right now, which it sucks, but even AD needs his rest sometimes. So I'll just say that.
Hasn't he like basically played every game this season?
He's only missed 2.
That's crazy.
Good for him. Yeah. Good for him. But I feel like I agree with you 100%, Earl, and that's why I think it's a good way to kind of segue into this. The 65-game rule. There's a lot of players complaining about that. And to be completely honest, when I saw the rules, I thought they were fine. 65 games is not a lot of games. And it's at least 20 games behind the mandatory minimum. At least. So.
What?
No, I meant it's a. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's like a quarter. It's not even like a quarter of the games that the players are missing. If that was the case, right? Am I wrong about that?
No, it's less than a quarter games missed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes. I'm just trying. I understand why players are complaining because it's hard to kind of like keep in with injuries and sometimes, but when I saw the rules and I saw everything, I thought it was like a completely okay kind of set of rules to be able to be placed because there was a lot of players that were barely playing in the season and then they were being considered for awards like MVP, DPOY. And it's like, what about the players that have been playing all 82 games and actually been playing really well? So it just begs the question.
I mean, yeah, when they first announced the rules, I was like, okay, that's fine. We want players playing. We don't want people load managing. That's lame. So get them out there. But now we're kind of seeing in practice it doesn't really work like that because there's great players all the time that just like Embiid, dude's just hurt. And then now he's like, damn, I got to play this game even though I shouldn't be because I kind of want to win MVP. Yep. And the more messed up thing is now we have contracts that are tied to like all pro teams, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Guys got like $40 million riding on the stupid media vote, which is dumb every year. So now you got like millions of dollars riding on like what Skip Bayless and like that dude Lefko that runs the TNT Tuesday group. He's got a media vote. That's what we got money riding on. So it all ties back to the 65 game rule where it's like, well, I got to meet my 65 minimum so Adam Lefko can vote me onto the team and I can make my bag. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, why there should not be a minimum. I think we're human beings. We can use logic that if, John Moran plays 10 games in a season, he probably shouldn't be on an all pro team or considered for MVP. It should just be, obviously if you miss games, that's going to hurt your case, but it shouldn't be a be all end all where if a guy plays 67 games, he can win MVP, but if he plays 64, he can't. So you get situations like Tyrese Halliburton might not make an all pro team simply because he's going to play 60 games. And I think certainly he's played well enough to warrant that, even though he will have missed 20 games or something by the end of the season. Embiid's been the best player in basketball this year, but especially now with this latest injury, probably not going to win MVP. So I don't think the problem with like how we doled out awards before was games missed. I don't think that was ever really a problem. I mean, you could argue that Embiid got screwed out of a Rookie of the Year because he didn't play enough games, but that was also a very severe case. I think he only played like 40-ish games that year.
Did he? I think he played less. I'm going to look that up, but continue.
Yeah, you could argue he got screwed out of that, but like the fact that we're just setting an arbitrary number on that is just ridiculous. So the all-pro teams are probably going to look worse than normal because now people can't vote for the deserving people. Players are going to miss out on their bag. You got players playing through injury because it's like, when you get a number of sick days in school, it's like, I want to go in, like, I'm not feeling that great, but I still want to go in because, like, what if I get super sick later in the year? And, like, I don't want to, I got to save my sick days, and then you never wind up using them. It's just, like, it's such a bad system. Like, we need to figure out a way to get players to stop load managing because that was the whole point of this, is to stop load management. We got to just figure out a way to stop this nonsense without like causing another problem. Because now we've just turned a mountain into a molehill because now you've got players who shouldn't be playing are playing, and that's even worse. So we got to figure something out because this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Earl, to cut you off. I just wanted to say, Joel Embiid, his rookie season, 2016, 2017, he played 31 games, averaged 20 points, seven rebounds, and 2 assists.
Nice.
So 31 games he did play that year. It was a pretty severe case.
I mean, 31 games is kind of a little amount.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to set the minimum at like 40, that's different. But like,
I would say the minimum. Go for it. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, as far as like this new 65 game rule, I think they have to just define it. Like, have to be more detailed with it. Like, there has not been any really severe cases of load management. I will say, like, there's no guys actively sitting out right now just because, like, there's no Kawhi Leonard sitting out. There's no Paul George just sitting out like they were last year, just to name a few. Guys are playing, but like Max said, the biggest problem is guys are playing through injury. Like Joel Embiid, we know that he is the MVP of this league, but will we hold him just because he gets like 30? I'm not 30, sorry. I'm thinking about Joel Embiid. 64 games played. So you mean to tell me one game could cost him to win MVP? When dudes put up a 70-point game, he averaged almost 50 points in December. Like, these are crazy things people aren't doing. And like Max said, you got Embiid who probably shouldn't have been playing. He let the media kind of bully him into playing when he was already hurt versus the Jokic thing.
That pissed me off. That really pissed me off.
That was bad. Like, I said that before. Like, media gets really nasty about injuries, man. I always bring up the point. Stephen A. Smith, AD live on TV, tweaks his leg, and he says, if Anthony Davis doesn't get back up, man, this is what day-to-day Davis, right? Live on ESPN. So, like, stuff like that, the media does to kind of manipulate these players at times, pressure them into playing. Not that they have to listen, but it's loud. So for me, it's just, I don't know, 65 games. It worked to get load management fixed, but as far as players playing through injury, that's a different story. So they got to kind of balance it out a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's just to reiterate, I really hated the way the media treated Embiid for that game because it was so obvious that he was coming back to prove to the NBA that he wasn't sitting down to sit down. And that's what really pisses me off because in the games leading to what was the game in question, he wasn't 100%. So why are we even questioning it? It just like really pisses me off because again, like we said earlier, these guys are humans. These guys are going to get injuries, and that's okay. And you know what? Maybe the 65 game minimum is too high for some players, but maybe the 65 game requirement should only be for MVP candidates and not for, let's say, all NBA, because that applies to all NBA as well, and it applies to almost every other award. So maybe if you want to have that 65 game requirement, maybe you can only have it for the MVPs of the league, which I think is kind of effective. And for the rest, it's kind of maybe you should combine some fan votes.
Here's an idea. Maybe let's not tie millions of dollars into these all-pro teams and MVP anyways, because then it's like, who really cares? Like, okay, I made an all-pro team. I didn't. It's cool. It's a cool nod, but, like, I don't really care. When you've got, like, I know these guys are all millionaires anyway, so, like, it doesn't matter too much, but, like, we're talking 30 mil, 40 mil, 50 mil riding on these teams. So it's like, maybe if we just didn't tie those in, like we've always done, this is like a very recent thing as far as I'm aware. This was never the case. So maybe if we just stopped doing that, it just wouldn't be a problem. And then players are like, oh, damn, I'm not going to make the all-pro team this year. And who cares? Now it's like, well, I'm trying to get my bag, so that's unfortunate, And again, this all stems from the load management. This whole thing reminds me of like when you're in a classroom. I don't know why I'm just making like school references today, but when you're in a class and you've got like
where you at right now?
You've got like the two idiots who like ruin something for the whole class, and then the teacher's like, okay, no more, like, no, it's like you're having a good time in like it's class party, and then the two idiots ruin it, and the teacher's like, no more party, everyone has to do work. And it's like they ruined it for everyone. So it's like the load management guys now ruined it for the whole league so that players can't sit out from legitimate injuries anymore. So it's like now nobody can have fun. It's just because of the two doofuses in the corner that were like smirking while the teacher was playing the movie. So it's like, no more movie now.
I found that crazy. No. That's valid.
I like
that. Just to go back to that, because I'm just searching in my brain. Why are we getting punished for like laughing during a movie? What if the movie is funny? Like, what is going on?
Well, it's the two kids that are like they pull the salsa out the bowl and are like drawing on like the desk with the salsa like, during the movie, and they're like, there's like goofing off in the corner, like watching TikTok.
Max has to be telling like real life stories.
This is 100%.
Not
with the salsa bowl, but like sure, in general, I've had idiots like ruin the fun days, and it's like, well, damn, thanks guys.
The salsa bowl just felt like a flashback or something like that. I don't know why.
Listen, I took Spanish classes. We had like Spanish fiestas, and like,
for sure, yeah.
But you're always worried that like, oh, what if some kid starts a food fight? Then we got to go do worksheets the rest of the class. Like, let's just have our fun. We don't have to be idiots the whole time, Let's just have our fun and leave.
Have you ever been involved in a food fight like that?
I have not. No, thankfully.
Have you, Omar?
No.
No, I haven't either.
I feel like Omar would get
I've seen one in high school, but it was like mixed up with a real fight.
Personally, I have no interest.
My bad.
No, I'm just saying I have no interest of throwing food and getting myself 30 at school with no clothes to change into.
Exactly, bro.
Well, what if gym clothes though?
Stinky gym clothes.
Facts.
Okay, well, you're prepping ahead of time. You're bringing the food. You're bringing clothes. I feel you could pre-prep. Like what? Like I feel like you could just like.
But what if it's not planned,
helping someone with dragon fruit?
I kind of understand.
But what if it's not planned though? It just happens.
Well, listen, then you gotta be ready. Hopefully, it's towards the end of the day. You gotta be ready.
So let me pose you this question, Max. For me, I went to a high school where I needed a uniform at all times.
Well, then you should be throwing it at the administration for making you wear a uniform. That's where you just revolt.
You know what? I agree with you. And back then, I couldn't have this luxurious beard. I was supposed to be barefaced.
I mean, truth be told, when I used to wear uniforms, I couldn't grow facial hair anyway. So
you couldn't. Oh, damn!
I can't now.
Yeah, I was in uniforms for like maybe like when I was like 7-ish. I forget what grade it was, but it was a while ago. But yeah, the uniform vibes. I mean, everybody looks alike, so
uniforms vibes was okay for most times. There was obviously a lot of ways to get out of it. The main thing I really wore every day was like a pair of khakis. Like that was kind of like my consistent
khakis.
Yep. But sometimes they were black. And I was that goth kid that listened to metal. So I mean, apparently. I've got called goth before. I don't wear any type of like eyeliner, make my shit extra black or anything like that. I've
seen the picture.
Wow, that's
crazy. There's a picture? Oh,
no. There's a picture of me blonde. Well, I will show you guys later on. Blonde? Bruh,
how?
It looked pretty good too. It looked pretty good too. But
how?
I don't know. But I digress. I wanted to get back into the food fight because it unlocked in my head. It was super
Did someone like throw a lemon at you and it just like squirted on your head? Now you're blonde? Is that like the tie-in here? Or like,
is that what you really think happened?
I mean, you say you've never been involved in a food fight. Were like,
I'm telling you, I've never been involved. I've seen one.
That's shocking to me. I feel
I've
like
seen one, and it was in the same high school.
You would have been like Langston Galloway's the second best point guard in the NBA, and you would have just gotten absolutely rinsed.
Langston Galloway. Oh, I missed that dude.
You would have been like, Quincy Mason should low-key be an all-star, guys. Him and Miles.
Okay, I have the perfect transition.
Let's get back into it. We're going into food fights. Let's get back into it.
Speaking of money and guarantees and contracts, I know we're kind of on the younger scale of this, so we haven't really hit it yet. But like retirement funds, like I know you guys seen the Tony Snell stuff going around on social media, how he has to sign one more team contract to get his benefits. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think there's an NBA team out there who should just sign him just because on a 10-day, just so he can receive his benefits? Or you think Tony Snell's pretty much on his own?
Is it really just 10? Is it really like you could just sign him to a 10-day and then cut him and that's it? There's like no games requirement or like minutes requirement?
I'm hearing, I think it's just legit, just one more NBA contract. I don't know if it's specified by games played, but the way it's sounding is he just needs that pen and paper on a team name. From my understanding, I've done a lot of research on it though. But
on the one hand, like it'd be nice for a team to do that. But then if they do, it kind of opens up a can of worms to just like start extending guys' careers unnecessarily just to get paid. And I feel like that's a very slippery slope. I feel like this should just be maybe a better retirement program. Either they need to set this up. They need to set this up differently so that this isn't a problem, because it's kind of wild the fact that we just have Tony Snell openly campaigning teams to sign him to a 10-day when it's like he's not going to play. Like maybe do it on minutes or like find some better way to do it. I guess that's kind of how retirement contracts work though, is because it's like, oh, you work X amount of years for this, you get this amount of benefits. Like it's a tricky situation. This is just very unfortunate. I mean, at the end of the day, he is still a millionaire, so like. I doubt he's gonna, it's not the end of the world, but I'm sure he'd like to have it. So maybe, Chicago's own gets brought back for a 10-day. It just feels weird signing a guy it just feels weird if you're signing a guy just to not play him and just to feed him money. Like I feel like that defeats the purpose of the benefits contract, because now you're gonna have guys being like, well, I didn't do this after I retired after 9 seasons and I didn't get a pity 10-day. Where's my pity 10-day? So it's like,
true.
Yeah, I don't think they can do that.
I mean, I feel like I feel like at that point, who cares, bro? The NBA makes so much money a year, bro. Like that retirement plan is probably not. I mean, well, to us, it's a lot of money for sure. Yeah. But as far as like the NBA world, the amount of revenue they generate is, I think, I agree with Max. I think the more simple problem to fix is fixing the package in general. Like if somebody is like a couple days or something out, or one contract away out, I'm sure maybe they just lower the amount they get. Like I feel like there should be like tiers, you know what I mean? Like obviously like NFL, their packages are kind of crazy. Like, You got the Tom Brady's of the world or the top tier A guys of the world who are always going to be making money off retirement from putting that money aside while playing in the NFL. I don't know if does NBA have that?
I don't, but then it's like even if you do the tiers thing, then it's going to be like guys retire after 11th year, but they're like, oh, give me that 12th year contract so I can get into the next bracket. Like whenever you're doing it based on one year, I feel like the only thing that makes sense there is to just do it like rolling. Like every year gains you another percent. So there's
kind of like that, yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably like the best way to do it. I mean, if that's the case, there's not going to be too many Brons and Vince Carters of the world. Not going to lie, like you have to still at least be able to hold a contract. I do agree with that. So the Tony Snell thing, it's just like a problem that's kind of popped up. And like you said, like once one person gets it, who knows what kind of cans of worms that can open up. But I just never knew about the retirement plan. I think I might do a little bit of research into like what it is so we can actually have a better understanding like next episode for sure. I'll do some more research on it.
And it's probably definitely like the NBA is probably doing the best that they can to probably, get Tony Snell.
Because by any means, I mean, if Tony Snell is like a contract away, I mean, bro, the NBA has money to take care of guys. I just think
they should be taking care of their players. I mean, like, we don't want to end up like, and I'm going to say this, we don't want to end up like the U.S. Army. We're leaving Army veterans like on the side and shit, someone on homeless and stuff. We can't have that for NBA players. And we can't have that for veterans either. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Based on what I'm seeing, it says Tony Snell's career earnings are over 50 mil. So somehow I don't feel that bad for him.
I mean, true, but can I have an unfiltered opinion about Tony Snell?
I mean, what's the?
I'm not gonna diss him. I'm not gonna diss him, but bro's been coasting around the league for the longest time ever, and I use coasting very selectively because
I think he's only been on 3 teams now, 3 or 4.
I think
if we're talking about coasting, then you must be mistaking him for somebody else. Just way more dominant. Don't get me wrong. All-time great center Shaquille O'Neal, who pretty much almost yielded every uniform. Like
I don't want to. I mean, yeah.
Respectfully, though, on his world
coasting is not a relatively bad thing. Shaq coasted as well, but it's like I'm gonna look up. I don't want to speak without looking at his like career. So I'm just gonna look it up his career.
I mean, seconds. He's been on a couple teams. He's a fine player. He had his time. 6
points a game for his career. 601 games played. 1 assist. 2.
Yeah, a little role player.
6
teams. He made and what did he get for his services? Small 50 mil.
I mean, minus taxes, which still probably like what smooth 15, 20-ish maybe, depending on how taxes go and how much he was getting per year.
He was playing a little bit this year too.
He's pretty. I'd be safe to say he's pretty comfortable. So I hope for his sake, I hope he gets it. If not, I'm not going to be losing any sleep over it. I'm considering that the retired players don't get. It
sounded like he was begging.
Despite being paid like hundreds of thousands back in the day, and they don't even make like a fraction of what a role player makes in 1 year now. I'm more worried about the retired players than Tony Snell, respectfully.
Yeah. And Stephen A. Smith actually brought this up the other day. Michael Jordan's career earnings inside of the NBA was only $40 million. He made all of his money from Nike.
Yeah, different times, man.
Different times. Like it just happens when we grow, and we've seen this, the NBA has gotten more expensive. The NBA has expanded its brand, right? Yeah. You can't have players making that much money, not have them play all 82 games, have selling out merchandise, and then some players want to lessen the amount of games in the league. That takes away from money in total. So it just fucks up everything. Money is so important.
Yeah,
I just don't, like you said, Omar. The league has so much money now. I just don't get why we can't give that to some of like the actual retired players who built the league in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, who who worked just as hard, if not harder, and are probably now legitimately don't have much money left. It's just because the league didn't pay them much back then. I don't see why we can't give them these millions of dollars that we're just dishing out to Tony Snell for, playing a couple games here or there.
You guys remember
to Tony Snell, but like there's guys who played in the league who needed more respect.
Right. No. True. Do you guys remember Delonte West? He's not a whole house name player. But man ended up homeless.
Yeah.
Like he ended up homeless. Like
he was
He was talking outside of a gas station with some random guy, like talking like, "Oh, like
I think people get distracted about the whole situation with Delonte West and like the whole LeBron stuff. But at the same time,
it was 20 years ago.
No, I'm just saying, like in general, like that's what people think of. But
yeah,
obviously, problem like you do have players like that, and I agree with Max. But I think there's a world where these things don't have to be against each other. Like the NBA makes enough money for retired players to get a severance package, just like NFL players do, just like most retirees get. Like they have their retirement funds, like some players who put in the years, and then taking care of the players who didn't get that type of money before. Like it reminds me of this situation, totally unrelated, but I'm just gonna segue because it just kind of makes sense. I was watching this interview with Snoop Dogg. He talked about Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent, how they literally have like OGs. Like sometimes they just pull up and they bless them. Like they see that they may not be in the best financial situation and they make sure they're taken care of. Like the guys who kind of set in stone, like the rap game, like the industry as a whole. You can't have those guys out there with no money. So I think the NBA should have a similar type of mindset. Like, hey, these guys built the league. Without these guys, there is no basketball. There is no growth. There is no TNT. There is no crazy jersey sales. There is no LeBron James and Michael Jordans and Kobe's of the world playing basketball because we wouldn't have got to this point, grew to this popularity without those guys setting it up. So I agree with Max. Like there should be something in place for these guys to just be taken care of. Like, and you too, Omar. Yeah.
And no, 100%. And like to add on to that, the players that are playing today, they're set up for generations to come.
Oh, for sure.
They're setting up their families to come.
I mean, Gabe Vincent's making a bag. He hasn't even played a game.
I'm sorry. To do nothing.
Y'all want to know something that's upset me for the longest time?
What's up?
The NBA never paid Jerry West for the logo. Not a red cent. You didn't know that, though? He's never seen a penny. They just deny it's him.
They would give him like fucking at least royalties.
No, they don't even acknowledge that it's him. They've never publicly stated that it's him. And West has said in interviews he's never seen a red cent from that, even though he has literally been the logo for 50 plus years, and it is extremely obvious that it is him. And the guy who literally made the logo has said that he used the picture of West. They've never paid him for it. And the league, that logo is on billions upon billions of merchandise. It's on every jersey, every backboard, every commercial. And Jerry West,
he has a case. I'll tell you this. He has a case. Like
he could take the
NBA to court.
But the thing is,
but he's not going to.
I'm sure he's going to beat the NBA lawyers. They'll just say, there's no proof it's him.
Yeah,
Jerry West has been They've been smart about it. They never acknowledge it's him. They've never actually said he is the logo. They've never made that an official statement.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, Jerry West easily should be over like in the billionaire status. He should be up there with the Elon Musk of the world as far as like wealth.
He's literally the logo of like the second biggest sports franchise in the world.
No, for sure.
And nobody even knows.
Yeah, and my problem is like player likeness, man. Like it wasn't a thing. Like they didn't. Really? I can't even like Max said. It's really hard to like just have a case. Like, oh, we never said it on record. Like if you don't have anything on record, it sucks. And it's not even Jerry West's fault. Like they just took the picture, they used him, and then they just threw it on everything. Like I feel like this is something. Unless he had people working in the background for the last 15, 20 years building up something, it's gonna be really hard. Even though it definitely sucks. Like I agree, he should definitely be seeing a profit of everything. Anything NBA, the first thing you're going to see is the logo. On here, on the back of my hat, has the logo on it. Every hat I have has the logo on it. Even the non-Nike, non-Adidas, every single piece of merchandise has the NBA logo on it. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And you know what? I'll bet you if the NBA changed the logo to Bron or Kobe and didn't pay them, the amount of drama 100%. That would start on social media. You would have everyone being social media warriors up in arms like, pay Bron his money, pay Kobe's family his money. But as long as it's Jerry West, nobody cares because like nobody even knows who Jerry West is anymore because people don't acknowledge anything before the year 1995. So like,
you know what I think?
My problem.
You know what I think? And unfortunately, I don't want to say this in like, oh, happy-go-lucky type shit because this is going to take a little shift. I feel like if Jerry West were to pass away at any point, his family would probably like sue the shit out of the NBA.
Probably not. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I don't think that's. I mean, he's
also been working in the NBA for the longest time, so it's not like he's super disconnected for the NBA. Maybe they.
If anything, that makes it worse. They haven't paid him.
The NBA should be working for him.
Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up. John Cena pays 10% of his contract to WWE. Automatically, he just does it just because he wants to do it, because the WWE was able to almost curate his career.
But that was a choice, though.
No, 100%. And look, it's probably a different situation, but I'm just trying to relate it to something like this. This is the first time that we've heard players giving organizations money to kind of stay afloat. So maybe there's some type of deal that we haven't heard that's behind closed doors.
They've asked him about it. He said he said there's not. There's proof that there's not. He's not that. I mean, he's rich. Don't get me wrong. Jerry West is rich, but not because of any NBA. Not because of any NBA franchise checks. Yeah. He makes more probably in a couple of years as an owner or a GM or an assistant than he ever did in his playing career. And certainly more from the logo. He's talked about on a podcast. I think he talked about on the Paul George podcast. If you want to go watch that, he's talking about how the NBA has never paid him anything for that.
That's crazy.
And nobody knows about it. Nobody cares.
Insane. That is insane, though.
Jerry West, I care, man. If you're listening, I care.
Somehow makes it West.
Go get your money, bro. Go get your money.
NBA, man, is so when I see that logo, man, I just think of basketball. And not a lot of people connect that to Jerry West, man. He is really, like Max said, I don't want to use the word forgotten, but I'll say unappreciative.
Oh, he's forgotten. He's forgotten. People don't even know he played. They just know he's he's that guy who works for the Clippers, right? Or he's a part owner.
The casuals, of course, but if you actually respect basketball and call yourself a fan of the game, then you know who Jerry West's name. Jerry West.
Yeah, you know he's the logo. You're Jerry West, that's the logo guy, right?
For sure.
And then you probably know one of two things. A, he's the logo guy, and B, he lost in the finals a ton. That's it. That's his legacy.
And what I know him for is gaining the MVP in the finals that he lost, which was really funny.
And even most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know. The only player to ever win it as a losing player in the finals has not happened since, and probably will never happen again.
Yeah.
I guess we could kind of turn our tables here to the hottest team in the NBA.
I'm proud. I'm proud of you, O. I'm proud of you. It took us 30 minutes to get to
I will say,
I wanted. Well, I introduced to you guys this kind of idea earlier this year that I wanted to kind of, because I realized what we were doing, it was all disorganized. We were all talking about, and the Knicks were constantly going forward. So I want to kind of implement a new segment here. 15-minute segment.
BTB builds.
BTB builds. Shout out last week. By the way, thank you for you guys for tuning in on that. That has been our highest viewed video in a pretty long time. So thank you for guys who tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can gain some subscribers. Give you guys some more NBA content.
If you like Omar's thumbnails, comment down below.
I mean, listen. Anyway, no, I do want to turn my team. The Knicks are 14-2. And I've personally just been in January. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been I'm just been so proud because I love to see that with one person kind of changing our culture completely. In December, we're probably the worst ranked defense in the league. Now, in January, in just 1 month, we brought it from bottom 8 to top 3. So with OG Anunoby, our defense has skyrocketed. I've just been proud of our overall defensive prowess. I've been proud of our offensive ability. Yeah, we're going to go through a rough stretch without Julius Randle and maybe OG. I think OG just has some soreness and inflammation. So I think, I think it's going to be fine. But other than that, I'm not worried. I think the Knicks can, we're a 3rd seed right now. Call me crazy. I think we could be a 2nd seed if Milwaukee continues with Doc Rivers. But I don't know.
It's gonna be really funny when the Bucks win the championship this year, and then people can't stop are gonna be damn, I can't clown Doc Rivers anymore. Watch that come back to bite everyone. That was gonna be some all-time Twitter receipts.
Honestly, I have enough receipts that if the Knicks don't win a championship, it's gonna be sad. Every message, everything about the Knicks, I have it in a folder on my laptop called "The Downfall Begins," and I won't send it out. I'm just being patient. I'll say this. I'll start by this because I want to sound like I'm a hater. What the Knicks have done in the last month has been very impressive. The 16-2 record. They're beating top teams. They're taking care of business. They're playing great basketball. I agree. Jalen Brunson has increased his gameplay. Even with Julius Randle out, you guys are still taking care of business, and other guys are stepping up. So, with that being said, some Knicks fans have already walked off the face of the earth acting like they won a championship based off of a month of basketball.
I hope you know you're not talking about me, because I've stated over and over again, I've been really proud of steady improvement. And I think because you just said championship.
Should we talk about our conversation yesterday?
Yeah, we will. We will talk about our conversation yesterday.
Look, he doesn't even agree. Your dog doesn't even agree. He doesn't agree with you. All right, look. So I'll segue in while Omar's doing that. Max, me and Omar had an interesting conversation yesterday. You weren't there.
No.
We're in Discord. And basically, I'm not gonna say anything that Omar said because he'll say I'm calling him a liar, lying on his name. I don't want to do that. I'll just say we had a conversation about success. Omar basically was talking about how the Lakers are pretty much done. Not gonna make the playoffs.
Yep.
Washed
team. So yeah.
Washed team. 2020 didn't count. And that
Obviously.
we don't win. We don't win anymore. And that conversation, the context of that conversation was we were talking about championships at that point. So I just reminded him that his last time the Knicks won a championship, respectfully, was when the first personal computer was ever introduced to the public.
It was that early?
Yes.
I thought the first personal computer was like the 80s.
No, it was the 70s. I think it was 78?
Yeah. Okay, so even before that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So sorry about that. But no, I want to continue what I was saying because
go ahead.
Because you tend to I get it, but you tend to think that I keep telling you like we're gonna win the chip this year, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I have not said that once. I have not said that once. Do not lie. I said that we will make the Eastern Conference Finals. I said nothing about winning the championship. Max, what would you like to say? I saw your sorry.
Oh no, I'm saying keep going. I'm just saying 1 second, but keep going.
I was trying to fix my glasses. I thought maybe my glasses weren't working, so my ears weren't working too.
Okay, please pull up the thing where I said we would win a championship because you just misquoted.
Verbal conversations.
Because we could ask Nate. We can ask Nate what you were talking about last night.
We had multiple conversations about this. Like
lying about my name, though.
I'm not lying on your name. All I'm saying is you tried to imply that the Lakers just don't win anymore. Like historically in the last couple of years, and I brought up the point that we won in 2020. We won. You didn't even realize that Kobe and Powell won 2 championships.
No, I wasn't 100% sure, but I
that's just fact.
I knew you erased for sure.
You
knew
that one part of Lakers history off of Knicks bias is crazy. And then okay, you want to go a little bit farther? Okay, we'll go Shaq and Kobe. All right. Should I go farther? Because it's a lot. It's 17 of them.
I was shitting on Lakers history. I wasn't.
But you were implying that we haven't won recently.
No, I was not.
Oh my, Omar, come on, bro.
Please, if I acknowledged that you guys won in 2020, because I did acknowledge that you guys won in 2020.
I mean, halfway. You said it. You said didn't count.
No. Let me quote exactly because you tend to stretch the truth a lot. So yeah, you do.
Now you're lying on my name.
I'm lying on your name. Let's go back to the chats. But let me say that.
Let's go back. All you're gonna see in the chats is Omar sending 90 paragraphs, and maybe there's just
because you get mad and you're like, you know what? It's all good. Nothing's gonna matter. What? Lakers are gonna win regardless.
Yes. What's in our group chat? Okay, go ahead.
Please bring up an instance where I said that the Knicks would win a championship because you said that I said that.
I'm just saying the Knicks act like they've won a championship. That's what I've said.
I'm saying that we're proud of our team. If you ask every Knicks fan, they will say they are proud of your team. Max, are you proud of the steady improvement of the team?
That's of course, but I don't go around rubbing it in everyone's face that I see, like some Knicks fans. I'm not even saying you. I'm saying some Knicks fans.
All I'm saying is your success doesn't have to downfall on others. That's all I'm saying. Like, you literally wake up in the morning and talk about we're not going to make the playoffs. When I told you this last year, We've been in the same spot as last year, same exact spot, same exact record.
I said with the way y'all playing situation. Now. I said
the
way y'all
thing.
playing right now. You're not going to make the playoffs.
Way.
And I wasn't even the one that said that. I wasn't even the one that said that. Travis said that. Travis said that
first.
No, Travis did.
Oh my dude, I don't want to put the DMs in the video, bro. I won't.
You don't have to.
I won't chat, guys. I won't, but please. Best believe when I tell you, I have the folder on my desktop saved. I will not have any mercy on the Knicks except for Max. I'll just put it in invisible ink so Max doesn't see it. But I have every single Knicks conversation by Omar, by all the Knicks fans. I go in the Knicks chat. I'm in there. When y'all having shows and stuff, I support my boy. Shout out to Omar. But any other Knicks shows, I'm in there. I'm listening. I'm watching. I go in
there is no other Knicks shows.
I mean, live shows. I mean, like sometimes I'll pop in the live.
Yeah,
but
I feel you though.
I've been in the chats. I see the Celtics fans talking about us every week. I'll just pop in. Let me see. I popped in the Celtics chat one time. They're talking about us, just talking crazy. I hop in the Lakers chat to just go in there and like just react to the game with them. And they're talking about how the Warriors on the Lakers. Since when? When's the last time the Warriors beat us? I'm sorry, respectfully. Like, it's just a lot of yapping in the NBA world. Yeah, we're at the bottom. I understand that, but come on, man. We're not invisible. We will be back, and we will make the playoffs this year and make a deep run. And I'm saying this on paper, on camera, because I want people to understand. Lakers fans are not worried. We've never been worried. We will win, and we will be fine. I'm proud of the Knicks because the Knicks playing good is great for basketball. Yep. I said that. If the NBA wants to be successful, you want the Knicks playing good. You want the Lakers playing good. Those are pretty much the two organizations you want to play. You want the Celtics playing good. Now the Bucks. You want all the competitive teams in the playoffs playing great basketball. Even the Clippers. I said that too. You want Clippers having good basketball. You want that rivalry to be live. You want a Paul George and Kawhi Leonard led team making the playoffs and making a deep push. It's good for basketball. So I'm glad the competition is here. All I'm saying is when we make the playoffs and when we get to a playoff round, a lot of people's eyes are going to wake up and they're going to realize there's levels to this. Like, it's not regular season. When you make it to the playoffs, it's levels to it. And I'm confident that my team, when it comes to making it to the playoffs and beating a team 4 times, besides Nuggets, I will admit they got our hand. Won't happen again. We can win. We can compete. And I have zero doubt in my mind that we'll make it far this year. And that's my TED Talk for today.
All right, I got you.
Also, wait, Omar, did you say that you never discredited the Lakers championship in 2020?
No, I said it was much easier to win in 2020.
How?
Okay.
I said it was much easier to win in 2020.
Looking at the receipts, Max.
Did I say that though?
I haven't said anything. I was just asking a question.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, look, I respect the Lakers. I respect what they've done because you tend to think that I always disrespect the Lakers and whatever they've done. I don't.
I mean, I don't think it. I just react to what you're saying, but I understand.
I'm just saying. No, sometimes you tend to think that. I'm sorry, somebody came into my way, so I had to close the camera and stuff. But I don't hate. I don't hate the Lakers.
You sound like me with the hands too.
I don't hate the Lakers. You know where this comes from?
Lakers won't make a run this year. Respectfully, once we
y'all will make the Eastern Conference Finals. How about that? I'll give you that.
I really want the Knicks to make the finals. I want the Lakers to make the finals.
I want to see both of them go.
I want to embarrass the Knicks and sweep them. That would be my dream situation.
Okay. No.
That would be my dream. That way I will never have to ever be in a Knicks conversation if I don't want to, because I can hit them with a one line. You guys in the regular season, but what happened when we got to the playoffs? Y'all folded. That will be my line for the next decade, as of being friends, except for Max. I would never say that line to Max. That's my favorite Knicks fan. Oh, but God. Omar, I will use that line anytime. That's my one line breaker.
You know what? I'll take it. It's good for BTB. It's good for our little. It's good for our rivalry. You know what I mean? It's good for us. But no, I think the Lakers. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I just don't know. Last year, you guys had a really tight race. Can I say that? You guys had a really tight race, and when it came down to it, y'all clutched up, y'all won a couple games, and y'all made it to the playoff picture. I'll give you that. 100%. Right now, if the season ended today,
it won't.
I'm just saying.
What? That doesn't. That line right there. What ifs the Knicks are, bro, not even the Knicks. The NBA world is so scared of the Lakers making the playoffs that they make. What if the season ended right now? It's not going to. That's the whole point.
I mean, we do that with every team, though.
No, bro. I'm just saying. No.
I mean, they brought up the conversation last week.
Okay.
ESPN brought up
if the season ended right now, the Bucks would be the 1 seed or something. Or
true.
Something.
Okay, look.
No, they said about the Bucks last week. They said if the season ended today, the Bucks wouldn't make it out of the second round. They said something like that, which I think is kind of weird.
I've heard that.
I've heard that too.
People forget, the Bucks they struggle sometimes in these one-off games, but we're talking about series, bro. Like you got to beat the same team 4 times. Like
you got to beat the Knicks 4 times.
Like, you got to stop Giannis 4 times. Like I know it's been done, but you got to stop Giannis and Dame together in the playoffs 4 times. I think it's gonna be hard for some teams. Not a lot of teams.
Low key, if they play a healthy Philly, I think they get beaten 4 times. I think
they could. That's what I'm saying. Like,
wait, clarify. My bad. If who sees a healthy Philly, who loses?
If Milwaukee plays a healthy Philly, they're losing in 7.
For sure, because nobody can stop Embiid. We've already seen, bro. Nobody on this planet can stop Embiid except for himself. There's no center in the league who can stop Embiid. Anthony Davis can't stop Embiid. Giannis can't stop Embiid. And Lakers fans, you can clip it. It's already been proven. I don't care. Embiid's physicality when he wants to play aggressive in that paint is the scary version of Embiid. When he's shooting threes, that's Embiid I'll live with. When he's in the paint, back down, post-game Embiid for the whole game, going to the line, that version of Joel Embiid is nearly unstoppable. If Tyrese Maxey is locking in, you got Tobias Harris can either go for 15 or 40. Like you don't know what Harris you're going to get. But if you get locked in Harris for 2 out of those 4 games, you can win a round. So I agree with Max. It's the Sixers are very underrated. If he's able to get to the playoffs healthy, they're straight.
We talked a little bit about this last week without you, Earl, but I said I'd back Philly to win a championship more than I back Minnesota or OKC.
Yeah, I would as well. I mean, it's just in terms of like talent on the squad and who has more experience. I feel like in that regard, 100%. I would back
Philly. If I had to bet on who goes farther in the playoffs, I might take Minnesota or OKC because I think they have like a higher ceiling but a lower floor, or a higher floor but a lower ceiling, if that makes sense. But if we're just talking strictly who can win a championship this year, I think Philly has a chance at least with Embiid. I don't think those other 2 teams have a chance, respectfully. Not this year, probably in the near future. But right now, I think Philly has almost as good a chance as anyone in terms of just top-end talent, ability to go out and win. I'm putting them maybe not on the same tier as like a Boston or a Denver or a Clippers, but like they're right there in that hunt. They just got to hope that Embiid's healthy. And if he is, and if Maxey can do this stuff in the playoffs, because he's kind of the unproven, is Maxey going to go out and play at an all-star level in the playoffs? That's kind of going to be that. And to kind of pivot here a little bit, it's kind of random, but like, is Tyrese Maxey the undisputed most improved player? Like I was thinking about this the other day.
No, it's
could that go to someone else?
Kobe White.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
But it's like I feel like they typically get.
But if you're talking about like winning and stuff, if you're talking about winning and stuff, then yeah. But if you look at his numbers, like Maxey was putting up decent numbers last year. Kobe White was like at like 9-something points.
He's double his points.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I watched him last. I think he had like 30. I want to say 30. I don't want to get that wrong. I'll double check it. But I think he had like 39 assists. Like he's playing great basketball.
I want to pose this question because me and Max had this conversation way earlier in the season. Now that we're seeing a full-time starter out of DiVincenzo, do we like his defense better than Grimes?
Not as a one-on-one defender, but as a player who plays lanes. They're good in different ways. Grimes is a one-on-one ball stopper. Devo is turnover creating, getting in fast breaks. So they're both valuable in different ways. But I like both.
And do we and I'm trying to not let my bias get in the way because obviously there's a lot of good breakout players this year. Do we think Dante DiVincenzo is in that conversation for most improved?
It would be nice. He just hasn't done it on a consistent basis. You have to do more. When you got guys like Kobe White who've doubled his points and Tyrese Maxey has become a potential all-star, and then you've got there's like one other guy I'm forgetting about it. Well, you can argue Tyrese Halliburton. You can make an argument for him.
It's true. Yeah.
Like, he was obviously very good last year, but now we're talking about him as an all-star starter and a potential, all-NBA first or second team.
He did make a giant jump, yeah.
I'll averaging almost Albert in that award. The game is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, when you got those guys in the running that are just putting up those insane stats, it's tough for, like, the mid-level guys to, like, crack in. Even though there are, like, a lot of guys out there who have improved a lot. I'm trying to think of, like, another – like good example, but there's like most teams do have one of those guys who like have improved a good bit, but they're just not going to get in the conversation because like they're not at those like top end numbers yet.
Do y'all think
go for it? Sorry.
Do y'all think
can Gabe Vincent get most regressed?
That's crazy. It's hard to regress when you haven't even played. Most I don't even know. I don't even have a funny thing to say about that. It's a sick conversation. But I think Xavier Tillman's better than DiVincenzo.
Okay, that's crazy.
What do you think,
I'm
Omar?
sorry. That's an Omar take if I've ever heard of it.
Crazy? I'm gonna give you that.
Omar. I mean, Omar told me that himself.
I did not say that. That is
he did.
Wow. That is the definition of lying, Max. That's crazy.
Respectfully, Xavier Tillman is not him, and he's cool, but he's not him.
So would you, if hypothetically in the basketball world, Max, would you trade Tillman for DiVincenzo?
No.
Like straight out 1 for 1?
No. In what world is that even a thing? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to make sure.
I've said it before, but I'll say it again just for entertainment.
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out.
I sent a low ball offer for DiVincenzo.
Oh, okay. That's what this is about. I was so confused. I was like, wait, what?
No, I said before, but Earl loves to do this. Like I said, he loves to stretch the truth and stuff.
Is it stretch? I just wanted an unbiased opinion.
Chat, Max, go look at the chat where I said I sent a low ball offer to DiVincenzo to see if I can get him, and then I asked. And by the way, this is a trade to one of our family members' sisters. So I asked them. I asked them directly. I was like, okay, since this person is not asking you what will it take, I'm gonna ask you because it was a low ball offer. I don't know.
I don't even think low
when you do that.
This is us, and this is the offer. You can't even see my hand. It's below Earth. That's where the offer is.
It's like
it's below Earth.
I just had to get an unbiased answer. So I'm glad you gave that reaction without having any context. Now
I remember this conversation. I remember the conversation now. But I was just like, wait a second. That makes absolutely no I try not to let my Knicks bias get in the way, but come on, we can agree that Dante DiVincenzo
is a lot better. Yes.
Like that is just absolutely crazy.
Listen, man, I sent a low.
That wouldn't have even been the worst trade in our league, which is the crazy thing. We've had worse trades than that.
Yeah,
I sent a low ball offer, and that's where I'm going to leave it at because my points get lost.
The only person I approve of lowballing is Shams because he might take it.
Oh God, yeah, he would take that.
If you send that to Shams, he'd probably take it. So you know what? Do what you got to do.
You know what? I got Keegan Murray for Obi Toppin.
Yeah, that's true. That was also just another
basketball mind here.
I think it was just Natalie being like, "I really
average Knicks fan."
No, she wasn't the biggest fan of Keegan Murray for some reason.
I think she just doesn't like. She was like, "Just get Keegan Murray off my team."
No, I tried to offer her more, but she was like, "No, I'll just take Obi Toppin." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, in my other basketball league, some dude yesterday was like, "Anyone want Jordan Poole? He annoyed me in 2K for the last time. I don't want to see his face anymore."
That's crazy. JP like that.
I would say, bro, can we talk about Jordan Poole being like, I know we talked about this before. Good Lord, that guy has flopped. And can I just say I called it? I think I was off the Jordan Poole hype trade from the second that we made this. I was like, y'all talking like Jordan Poole. That and Mikal Bridges. I hit the nail on the head with Mikal Bridges. People were talking like
you did. I'll give you that. You hit
that. In the East backcourt. I'm like, y'all are tripping. These are like good players, but they're not great. And Mikal has had a very mid-season for being an untouchable guy. And Jordan Poole just he's the most unserious player in the NBA. He's just goofy. And it's guy. He's got like the 1970s like stash and like mini afro going.
Sometimes I feel like he's just messing around because when I saw him versus the Knicks, it was a relatively closer game. And this bro was chucking up shots. Like
He's just like, he got his champion. He literally said this, dude, which is the crazy thing. He's like, I got my championship. I got my bag. I'm just here to play my style of basketball. I'm like, bro, there's no way you just said that. That's like a 2K answer. Like when you're about to drop 100 points on rookie difficulty. I'm like, bro, you can't just be saying this.
I did enough gassing for Bridges to get me a nice trade in fantasy. So I think I did my job very well.
You did, bro. I mean, Bridges is good. Like, I'd like to have him on the Knicks. He's a good player, but people are like, oh, all-star. Definitely all-star this year. Maybe all NBA. I'm like, bro, he was a fourth option on Phoenix. Respectfully.
I will say it's not like he's playing bad basketball.
No, he's good. He's definitely good.
I feel like he's a decent player. Well, I'll say he's a good player.
He's a good player. I'm pulling up the
NBA trade machine.
He's become overrated. Since he got to Brooklyn, he's become criminally overrated.
I just feel like the Brooklyn Nets are over-evaluating his talent currently for what they think he's worth. Like
he's not a one. He's not even a two. He's a very good three. He's a very good three.
I think on a good team, he could be a 2 or 3. 100%.
He could be a 2.
He could
be a 2.
No, he can't.
If he's a 2 and you want to judge him, you better have like a top. You better have like a top 5.
Like player. If you put him on the Lakers, no bias intended. He can be. Well, he'll be a 3, obviously. LeBron and AD. If you put him on, what's a good example?
You put him on the Pelicans. He's a 3.
Yeah, if you put him on the Pelicans, if you put him, I mean, yeah, that's because we're talking about like super deep teams. Like I'm trying to think of like a perfect spot that needs like kind of a 2. Because the Nets, I feel like the Nets just aren't a great way to evaluate him. Because like it's not like he's going to get any type. Like he's obviously the best player over there, besides Cam Thomas, who's just now getting the minutes to his. Like he's still getting fluctuating minutes as far as like offensively. But if you put him on a serious contending team, I feel like he could emerge as a 2nd or 3rd option for sure.
I mean, it's a good. Put him on Denver. He's not a 2 over Jamal Murray. You know, put him on Minnesota. He's not a 2 over Towns. You know, you put him on OKC. It's even a 2 over Chet.
I'm sorry. I wanna bring this up because I put it in the NBA trade machine. So Max, I'm gonna ask you this. I put it in the NBA trade machine.
Is this a Mikal Bridges trade?
It is, and it's better than the one that Bobby Marks put up, which I feel like
Wait. Before you do this trade, I promise I'll let you get to the trade. I just want to say, what was that post? Was it ESPN was drawing up like LeBron trades or whatever?
Oh my god! Are you talking about the Heat one?
The Heat one was like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson.
I almost threw up.
No, the crazy one was the Philly one. The Philly one was like Tobias Harris, Korkmaz, and a 1st. I'm like, what are we doing right now? You're giving Tobias Harris for Braun straight up, basically.
I was sick.
The fact that exists, that's worse than Omar could do in a fever dream. Like, respect.
Well, let's see what he cooks up here.
Omar cooks up some wild trades. That's not you, Omar. Your trades
are
not even
Max, time out. Let's see what he does here. Let's not gas Omar.
I'm just saying, whatever it is, will be better than that.
I don't know. No,
it is going to be that. It is going to be better. Julius Randle. I'm sorry. Miles McBride, Malachi Flynn, Mikal Bridges, and Spencer Dinwiddie.
Do we have to get Dinwiddie?
We don't have to get Dinwiddie, but then we wouldn't have to. I don't think we'd give up Miles McBride then.
Fine. If you get Mikal Bridges for Randall, any sort of Randall plus package that doesn't.
I was trying to figure out like
they're gonna want to pick 2 or at least.
Yeah, I mean they would want.
Obviously, yeah, but for some reason in any ESPN's trade machine, I can't like pick picks, so I wasn't able to like draw out the whole thing.
You definitely can. I think it's because you're doing it on mobile. They're definitely on.
Yeah, it probably is because mobile, but it didn't end up working because of like the value and stuff and
the money. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
but apparently Mikal Bridges is.
I forgot to throw in Evan Fournier though. So
yeah, apparently Mikal Bridges is just untouchable. Which that's what I'm saying. Like he's a good player, but like the Nets are talking about like he's about to be their franchise savior. Like, bro, respectfully, what are you smoking?
Yeah, if we could trade for Mikal Bridges, I would have loved to have him in the Lakers. But the way they're talking, he's gonna be banished there for life.
Exactly. They thought 4 first-round picks.
Like,
bro,
what?
4 first-round picks is Durant. That's what you gave up to get, to give away Durant.
Exactly.
Like, you're not telling me Mikal Bridges is worth that.
Can I be honest though?
He's a good player, but the Nets are just overvaluing.
They juiced his value up to hell.
Yeah.
Go ahead, O.
I was gonna say like Mikal Bridges is probably worth 4 first-round picks and Quentin Grimes.
No, not in any universe. In no universe.
No. If you think about it, Max,
4
if you
first?
can give no. But look, if you can give up 4 first and Quentin Grimes and have
Mikal Bridges,
Jalen Brunson, Julius Steele, OG, Mitchell Robinson coming back, Hartenstein, you're not doing that.
We could take it back on the defense.
Like I feel like for the
we
Knicks,
have the space now to do that.
For the Knicks, you're talking about a dude who can shoot the 3, really good mid range,
awesome defender. You can't, exactly. You can't lie about that.
A-tier defender, and all you're doing is giving up some of the picks you've been stacking up for years to make a move like this. I'm doing that,
bro. That brings
us
from.
I cannot give up Grimes. Can I do 5 firsts instead?
It would have to be Grimes.
We would have to make the money work in some way. Like obviously, we would be giving up Fournier.
If y'all did that, then I will give y'all that tier that Omar thinks they're in right now. Respectfully,
no. Look, I think we're a tier below that.
I'm saying, if you get him for that package and you keep those guys in your roster, then that's when Knicks fans can start. Oh my God!
Can't we just give him Randall instead and not worry about any of this? Just do Randall. Just take Randall in a first. And
honestly, bro, if we don't need to throw Randall in the deal, then good on us, because that gives us an actual chance to actually make a finals run with Mikal Bridges. Shit.
That would be equivalent to the Nets being like, "Oh, hey, big brother, we want you to go take over the NBA for us."
Yeah, that's another thing. They would never do that. But they probably wouldn't do that.
But for the Knicks,
you know what, bro? I respect you. Take the deal. Get it done for New York.
You know what's crazy? Brooklyn would probably never do that deal. The Knicks and the Nets haven't done a deal in 40 years.
40, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
40 years.
You've already talked to trade within your division.
And there's going to be
They're not going to trade Cross City and give the Knicks a championship like that. If that were to come back to bite them, they would get clowned to no end, probably. The last time the Nets made a major trade in their division, that was one of the all-time scam jobs. So they probably don't want to do that.
Yo, can I be honest about our picks, though?
No.
They're not that good.
Yeah, they're not. They're really not that good. Go ahead, Earl.
No, I was going to say, if this is just a dumb just a dumb conversation that means nothing to end this thing. If our teams were to combine with our little brother teams, that'd be really funny. The
Lakers merge the Knicks and the Nets and merge the Clippers.
The Lakers and Clippers would probably never lose a game. The Nets and the Knicks would have a really deep team.
Deep team.
Very deep team.
How would the cap space work? Is the NBA just giving us double cap space?
Combined cap space. So you can go get whoever you want.
Zoo and cap space. Jesus.
Yeah. The NBA needs to ship Brooklyn off to Vancouver. Why do we have a team in Brooklyn? Why? Move them to Brooklyn and get rid of Charlotte, bro.
I mean, finally
move
the
Charlotte
Clippers.
To Seattle.
Well, we do need to add more teams in the NBA. I do think it's going to be 2 or 3 years, and we're going to see 2 more.
We don't even need more. That's what I'm saying. We don't even need more teams. Just replace the already existing franchise that nobody cares about.
No, they want to. They want to
how
expand.
Many teams are in California, bro?
They want to expand to Los Angeles, though.
Push them out, bro. There's so many places you can put teams, man. Space out these teams. Yeah. And shout out to the Clippers. Thank goodness they're getting their stank out of our arena. I'm glad they got their $1 billion arena. It's cool, but they've been homie hopping forever, bro. It's been crazy, bro. Showering in our showers and stuff. That's got to be exhausting for the crew. The crew,
wait.
Now there's going to be 2 separate crews.
That's true.
There's going to be 2 separate crews.
Double pay for that? Probably not.
Probably not. That's what I was thinking, too. They probably had to work twice as hard because before every game, they got to change the whole arena to Lakers, whole arena back to Clippers. That's a blessing for them in disguise. They got their own thing, their own gig. We got our own thing, your own gig. But it should be interesting to see how all that plans out. The arena does look crazy, though.
It's also a stupidly named arena. The Crypt is the worst name I've ever heard. I'm sorry. Crypto?
Call it the Crib?
Crypto.com.
Yeah, Crypto.
Crypto was so arena, yeah.
I will say, Jeannie Buss, she took that $1 billion deal, ran with it.
Terrible.
Remember
NBA should have vetoed that.
Remember
they vetoed the Chris
Arena?
Paul trade, they should have vetoed this.
I'm sure somebody somewhere down the line, somebody will buy into it and change it again, 100%. But when you get a contract like that, you got to take that money.
Well, here's the thing. You guys remember what happened to FTX Arena?
What arena was that?
I think it was Memphis.
What are they now?
I don't know. But FTX was a brand hosted by this one dude who just basically rug pulled, and it was a giant project. Like,
are you serious?
He rug pulled the entire project. He had investors like Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, FTX, bro. He had NBA teams frothing at the mouths.
Craziest bar right now for sponsored teams is shout out to Mr. Beast. That's crazy. Feastables with the Hornets. I thought it was fake.
Good for Mr. Beast, though. Good for Mr. Beast, though. I'll give him that.
In his hometown and put his brand on the hometown team is absolutely insane.
I'm surprised he hasn't bought them yet, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
He eventually will. He'll
be on that next package for sure.
Oh, y'all want to know what's crazy?
Look at Michael Jordan.
Literally, he would be a better owner than Jordan. That's so true. People don't talk.
You know why? Because he's not scared to spend money. Mr. Beast would spend as much money as he could to save that franchise. I'm convinced. 100%.
Yeah, he would run out of money.
Like, we're running out of money. Let's go film a YouTube video in one part of the world and stay there for 50 days and get 65 billion views, and we'll make the money and sign whoever.
Bro, you want to know the craziest thing though? Do y'all remember when Mr. Beast did that like different jobs video? And he signed a one-day contract with the Bucks, with the Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah.
The Bucks had won a championship this year. Would he have gotten a ring because he was technically part
That's a good question. You're asking the right questions. That's a crazy one.
Surely there's a way to not allow. Surely that's not a thing. But then again, teams don't just hand out contracts. Like, are they legally obligated to give a ring to anyone who signed a contract?
Max, unless they didn't put that in the contract. If they didn't write that in that contract he signed, then
I don't think even the Bucks organization thought they'd be in the playoffs. So like the fact that they even like had a shot, we're probably like, wait a second, we have to give this guy a ring.
First OG YouTuber with an NBA championship ring who's never played basketball.
Something funny just came to my mind. So we're gonna take that scenario before, like Earl said, like, oh, we gotta sign a player, so we're gonna go raise money and stuff. Imagine when the video drops, you get the notification. Oh, Mr. Beast is saving money for LaMelo Ball.
All right, guys, we're gonna pull out to
LaMelo Ball's contract in 20 hours.
That's crazy. Every like this video gets, all the money is going to our next contract to sign LeBron James.
Bro, you would do. Bro, you remember? You know the guy like B-Doss who impersonated Clay Thompson?
Yeah.
He got kicked out of the Warriors. They should give him a championship ring.
For sure, bro. That created a lot of media buzz. That was hilarious, bro.
Dude got banned from the arena. No, he
got on the court. He got checked in through 4 levels of security. Got on the court. Shot 7.
Wait, was that fake Clay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fake
Clay.
Clay.
My god.
Shot fake like 7 shots on the hoop, on the court that they're playing the game on. Like, bro, whoever was on that team
to Clay, though,
got fired 4 times over. They fired and rehired him just to make a point.
I would hire him as the head of security. Clearly, whoever's there isn't doing a very good job. This guy knows more about how to break in. You know, it's like when like technology companies they hire hackers. They're like, damn, you've been cooking us for years. You want to come work for us so we can stop? You can stop other people from doing it. It's like hire T-Fox. It's like he knows the ins and outs. He knows how to get. I feel like he'd be a good head of security. You could turn him to the good side.
It makes it crazy because like that just shows you, bro. When these security people were getting hired, you need to have pictures. You need to have videos, 3D scans of people's heads, so you know
an ID.
Real Clay Thompson. Oh yeah, ID. Yeah, they just assume. Oh yeah, let him in. That's Clay.
There's Clay. Let him in.
Nobody wants to be the guy. I'm gonna be the guy. Let me see the ID. Oh, you don't have it?
Way.
Okay, we'll go ask Curry. Somebody, hey, call Radio Curry. Can you confirm this is Clay Thompson?
Yeah, Curry on FaceTime. Like, this your boy. Come get your man.
Come get your boy, bro.
Curry shows the phone and Clay right there next to him. Nah, we don't know him.
That would be crazy if Clay's there.
In that guy's defense, though, he really did look like Clay. He looked like.
I mean, he does. He looked like.
All right, guys. I think we can wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that notification button, and that like button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and peace.
Dragon fruit.
I got infinity money.